October. There's a lot of bright sunshine right now in Foxborough and all over New England. And after the wackiest lead-up to a Super Bowl ever, the New England Patriots are the NFL champions.
A lot of respect between those two.
Are you ready for some football?
Hello, hello. It's been a while since I last posted. A lot of exciting stuff happening, personally with vacations, family, and career and whatnot. Didn't forget about the NRA though. Congratulations to the Patriots on winning the second NRA Super Bowl. Unfortunately, my Seahawks were beaten, and it wasn't just at the 1 yard line. Patriots were the best team all season long, so they really deserved it. I'm glad they didn't go undefeated. Thank you again, Dolphins, for making that happen. Patriots are looking primed for a title defense already. Such a strong roster. Let's hope they don't repeat, though. Other news, we've got some fresh blood in the league. Got Kay Freya taking over the Buccaneers. Former owner Gary Oak has decided to start a career in rocket surgery. Got Anthony 22 Anderson taking over the Chiefs, and A-Bomb Diggity taking over the New York Jets. Welcome to the league, y'all. I've seen the moves you're already making, so it's great to have you guys in the league. And now it's time for the draft recap. I know the draft is still going on as I'm making this video, but no one cares about the last few picks anyway, right? I don't really have other time to make this video, so I'm just gonna go ahead and roll with it. All right, so we've got new Bears owner, transferred from the Jets, Jay Hines, getting their guy, taking Caleb Williams first overall. I think Caleb Williams is going to be a star and is going to be the face of that franchise for years to come. Congrats on that pick. Going second, we have Marvin Harrison Jr. going to the Bengals. Bengals have quite a young but very talented team and are just adding to that with Marvin Harrison. Young, talented. The Bengals did make a deep run in the playoffs, and Marvin Harrison's going to help them go even further, maybe. Malik Neighbors going to the Commanders. Quite a talent, ended up in a bad spot. I think it's going to take some time for him to make an impact. The Giants, quite a terrible landing spot. I really hoped he actually ended up in LA with the Chargers, but he didn't. That moves him down my rankings a little bit. I think he can still be a good player, but there's a bit of concern with the landing spot. That didn't seem to affect his draft stock, though. A lot of people are still getting him within the top 4 or 5 picks. Got Jaden Daniels going to the Broncos. The Broncos fill a quarterback need. I think he's got a chance to be successful in the NFL. Definitely, a lot of rushing upside. I'm not completely sold on him as translating to the NFL. The concerns about him being too small, they're there. I mean, even Lamar Jackson had that, but Lamar Jackson is 101. Jaden Daniels, to compare him to Lamar Jackson immediately is a bit premature. Yeah, Jaden Daniels actually only had one good year in college, which was the past year. Every other year is kind of meh. We'll see if it translates to the NFL. I'm got him as a question mark right now. Next up, we have Drake May, who I think is going to be the biggest bust of this draft. His feet look like shit, and I don't know why people are so high on him. Drake May goes to the Detroit Lions in the NRA. I think it's a waste of a pick. Sorry, Heated Hot Sauce, you are getting the brunt of this, but yeah, Drake May, I don't see what the hype is. Definitely think he's going to be a bust, and that is like the strongest feeling I have on a take in this draft. Got Brock Bowers going to the Commanders. I mean, the Commanders won the championship 2 years ago, and they have 2 really high picks. That's quite a good turnaround for them. They're thinking about the future, getting rid of old vets. Pretty good rebuild already happening, but I think they can still be competitive. Brock Bowers joins the Raiders, who already had a tight end, which is interesting. I think, he is a special talent. It does take tight ends a little bit more time to get acclimated in the NFL. But I mean, like Sam Laporta this year, Brock Bowers could make an immediate impact. But I mean, getting drafted this high, I don't know. There's probably some other tight ends that will make just as good of an impact. But yeah, Brock Bowers, he'll be a special player, I'm pretty sure. Rome Odunze going to the Cowboys. That, I think, is going to be a good pick. Him paired with Caleb Williams, who've got two rookies kind of growing up together in the same franchise. I think Rome Odunze will have success in Chicago. I mean, people are worried about him being buried on the depth chart, but Keenan Allen will probably get hurt. DJ Moore, I think he's okay. Rome Odunze's got a chance to contribute even this year, but definitely next year. JJ McCarthy, I think he's my other question mark quarterback. It's kind of raw. Wasn't asked to do a lot in Michigan. And he ends up in a good situation. I think the Vikings are a good spot for him, but he really has to develop well. And we'll see if Kevin O'Connell can do that for him. Big question mark. I think it's a bigger question mark than Jaden Daniels per se. But yeah, I can see him being a long-term starter. He might get thrust into the action pretty quickly though, and that might hurt his confidence, especially if he doesn't do well in the first year. But we'll see what the Vikings do with him. Xavier Worthy, fastest man of the draft, going to the Bills in the NRA. You know, the Chiefs have drafted some speedy wide receivers over the years. They didn't really pan out, but this one I think will be successful. The Chiefs wide receiver room, you know, they got Hollywood Brown. They've got Rashee Rice, who might not play for a while. I think Xavier Worthy's got a chance to make an immediate impact. Very talented. He's not just a speed guy. He can actually work the entire field. So kudos to the Chiefs on getting this guy. This guy could be the next Tyreek Hill. Not Tyreek Hill's 101, but I think he's going to be a good player. Brian Thomas going to the Commanders. Commanders just really rebuilding with some young talent. Brian Thomas goes to the Jaguars in real life. I think he's a great player. I think he could be better than Malik Neighbors. I know a lot of people don't see it that way, but he's got a chance to be the alpha in this Jaguars offense. He's tall, he's big, he's fast. I think he's got a good chance to be one of the best receivers in the NFL, actually. So we'll see if that comes true. And then, oh my goodness, another pick by the Commanders. They get Ladd McConkey, who goes to the Chargers. He's going to be that shifty white receiver that catches a lot of passes from my boy Herbert. Excited to see him out there. I don't think he's going to be, wide receiver 1, but probably consistently wide receiver 2.5 to 3.5, or yeah, wide receiver 2.5 to 3. So yeah, man, the Commanders really retooled in this draft. We've got the Saints taking Keon Coleman. Big question mark. Gives great interviews, but his play on the field is inconsistent. He goes to the Bills, which is a big deal. They don't have Gabe Davis. They don't have Stephon Diggs. Wide receiver room there is pretty wide open. Keon Coleman has the physical traits, but can he be consistent enough to be a big playmaker in the NFL? I don't know. He's in a good spot though. He's got a good situation. I think he is going to be relevant for, at least his rookie contract. So next we got the Colts drafting A.D. Mitchell. Colts in real life have A.D. Mitchell. Speedster. Goes to kind of a crowded Colts wide receiver room. You've got Alec Pierce, you've got Michael Pittman, you've got Josh Downs. You gotta see where A.D. Mitchell ends up on that depth chart. Alec Pierce is probably the odd man out. I think the Colts like Michael Pittman, obviously. Josh Downs showed some flashes. But A.D. Mitchell could beat out Alec Pierce. That's going to be interesting competition to see. Ricky Pearsall goes to the NRA Jaguars. Not really high on this guy. A lot of people think the 49ers reached. I'm one of them. Not too high on him. We've got Jonathan Brooks going to the Bengals. He's got a chance to take over the Carolina Panthers backfield. He is recovering from injury, but talented dude. Panthers are probably going to cut bait from Miles Sanders next year when they can financially do so. He's going to be the #1 running back in the Panthers room, but is that saying much? Bo Nix taken next, which is the person I wanted to draft. I think this guy's going to be a stud. QB2 after Caleb Williams. Sean Payton loves him, and Sean Payton's probably going to really utilize his skill set well. He's very accurate, can run. He's ready. He's ready for the NFL. I mean, he played a lot of games in college, so I think he's going to be a good quarterback. You've got the Seahawks taking Trey Benson, who should take over the backfield for the Arizona Cardinals. If not this season, definitely next season. Have James Conner under contract just for this year, but nobody else really next year. So Trey Benson, I expect great things from him. Blake Corum goes after him. It's going to be interesting how the Rams use Corum, because they already got Kyren Williams. I think Corum is going to replace Kyren. The Rams don't want to spend money on a running back. They've got PTSD from Todd Gurley. So yeah, I think Corum maybe next year, the year after, will become the next Kyren Williams until they draft Corum's replacement. Roman Wilson, Xavier Legette, Troy Franklin. You've got wide receivers going in this tier to the Giants, Broncos, and Cowboys. The Steelers draft wide receivers pretty well. I don't think Roman Wilson's going to be much of anything. Xavier Legette going to the Panthers, which is why I'm low on him. I think he's got some skills, but the Panthers situation is just kind of garbage. I don't believe in Bryce Young anymore. Actually, I never did. I always thought C.J. Stroud was the man, but yeah. We'll see about the Panthers. Got Troy Franklin, who is tall but lanky. Had success with Bo Nix in Oregon and their teammates again in the NFL. Definitely worth taking him here above the likes of Jalen Polk and Jermaine Burton. The Broncos wanted to draft him. Bo Nix, automatic connection. Pretty good pick. Got the Falcons of the NRA taking Michael Penix, just like the Falcons did in the NFL. Still boggles my mind on why that happened. Even at this pick, God, that's such a terrible pick. Penix. Why did the Falcons draft you? Honestly, I hate thinking about it. It drives me insane. Yeah. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Jalen Polk, who is going to the Patriots, got Drake May throwing to him and missing him. A good receiver. Don't like the situation. Hate receivers being drafted by the Patriots. Historically, I know it's a new regime, but until I see evidence the Patriots can develop wide receivers that they draft, I'm staying away from them. Jermaine Burton goes to the Chargers in the NRA. He ends up in the Bengals in the real life NFL. I don't know. T. Higgins, franchise tagged there. We've got Jamar Chase, who's obviously a stud. He's going to be there a while. People are projecting this guy to be the third guy, but I don't know. He's got Andre Yoshivas to compete with, who I'm really rooting for. we'll see. We'll see. Jalen Wright, speedy guy from Tennessee. I don't really think he's gonna pan out that well. Kamani Vidal, I don't even know who this guy is. Chargers, 6th round pick out of Troy. Went to the Chargers in the NRA as well. So this guy probably has some more intel on that pick. Malachi Corley, drafted by the Jets, could be a sneaky good pick this late. I like it. To the Commanders, holy crap, I need to check. Let's check them out now though. I didn't realize they went through such a makeover. Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't see anybody. Except draft picks. Man, tore it all down. This guy used to have a bunch of studs. Ben Sinnott, going to the Panthers in the NRA. I think this is a really good pickup. He might be the Sam Laporta, you know? The Commanders have Jaden Daniels as their new quarterback, and gonna need that tight end security blanket, and it's gonna be this guy. Lloyd going to the NRA Chiefs, backing up Josh Jacobs in the NFL. Too much of a fumbling problem. That's not gonna translate well to the NFL. Jatavian Sanders, tight end for the Panthers, going to the Cowboys in the NRA. A lot of question marks on his blocking ability. Heard he only had 8 reps at the combine, weak sauce, and he's ending up on the Panthers. I mean, you know, there's not a whole lot of offensive competition as far as targets, and he could benefit from that, but also it's the Panthers. I just stay away from all the Panthers. Ray Davis, this is a good late round pick. Big bodied running back, played for Kentucky, I'm sure. Going to the Buffalo Bills in the NFL. Might be a good goal line bruiser. Javon Baker goes to the NRA Patriots, and he went to the NFL Patriots. 4th rounder, wide receiver. You know, he's gonna be worse off than Jalen Polk. Tyrone Tracy, back-to-back picks for the NRA Patriots. I don't know who this guy is. Luke McCaffrey, 3rd rounder to the Commanders. Quarterback turned wide receiver. I think this guy's gonna be an interesting pick. He's obviously, you know, from the athletic family. I think he has a chance to make some noise. Good late pick there by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers also taking Audric Estime. That's a good pickup this late. Jalen McMillan, wide receiver from UW, going to the Falcons. I think that's a good late round pick, as well as Brendan Rice. I really like Brendan Rice. He goes to the Chargers. I think he's got a chance to just be a starter on that team immediately. I like his tape. He's got good size. Yeah, he's the son of the greatest of all time. So, you know, that's saying a lot. Theo Johnson going to the Chiefs in the NRA. Don't really know a lot about him. Bucky Irving, small running back, Oregon. Could be that utility running back that, you know, catches a lot of passes, spells the starter for a while. Actually, what team did he go to? Tampa Bay. Yeah, Rashad White ain't that great. I know he had a great season last year, but his yards per carry was trash. He was peppered with a lot of targets. That's why he was an RB1 last year. Bucky Irving, you know, good value at this point. I mean, pretty much anyone here that has a chance to play is good value. Braylon Allen, I don't think he will get a lot of chance to play. He's got Breece Hall in front of him, which, you know, that dude's a beast. So Braylon Allen, you're gonna ride the pine for a while. Malik Washington in Miami, sneaky guy. Probably, I think he becomes like some sort of gadget player for Miami. He's got some speed, but, you know, probably not NFL starter talent worthy. Tez Walker going to the Ravens, I believe. You know, Ravens wide receiver room is not that busy at all, so Tez Walker could crack the starting lineup. I think he probably just needs to beat Nelson Aguilar. Tez Walker could be a great pickup here. I mean, Fantasioso, Patriots, they draft well really late. I mean, they picked up Puka last year, so Tez Walker could be, I don't know, wide receiver 1, just based on Patriots draft history. Got Will Shipley going to the Falcons, Dylan Laub going to the Chiefs. I have no idea about these guys. Will Shipley, Dylan Laub, Jacob Cowing. He went to U of A. That's the only reason why I know about him. He's going to the 49ers. Pretty crowded wide receiver room, even if Brandon Ayuk leaves. I like Jacob Cowing. He could be something. This late, anybody could be something. Spencer Rattler going to the Saints in real life and in the NRA. I think that's a good pick late. Derek Carr, he's going to play, and then, I don't know, he's not that great. Spencer Rattler could have a chance to Caleb Williams him. It's kind of like a, I don't know, NFLception at that point. We'll see. Probably not. Isaac Guerrero, also going to the Saints. This guy's a sneaky good pick. Very fast, 40 time. Kind of like Isaiah Pacheco. Eric Gall, Isaiah Davis. Don't know who those guys are. Jordan Travis, the injured Florida State quarterback. Worth taking a shot this late at the 218, 219. A-bomb diggity. Picking up Cade Stover. I think that's a good pick. Cade Stover links up with his former quarterback, CJ Stroud. They'll probably get him the ball. 2 tight end packages or something like that. Probably be good. Jared Wiley, Jaheim Bell, Johnny Wilson. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know any of these guys. 220. We got Marcus Mariota, a young Marcus Mariota being drafted again. We do veteran picks in the NRA, and it's not at all surprising seeing this is the first veteran pick. He's backing up Jaden Daniels, and I think, yes, the NRA Broncos did pick Jaden Daniels, so it's smart to get his backup, so good pick there. And here we come to the current spot in the draft. Bill Rackbose taking his sweet ass time with 224. He probably is doing that because he doesn't know anybody else in the draft board. I mean, there's still a good amount of people left, like Brevin Jordan. Well, he's probably on his way to irrelevancy. But Frank Gore Jr., just draft on name alone. It's kind of fun. Yeah, Boston Scott just signed with the Rams. That's worth taking a pick that late on. But yeah, I mean, chances are we don't see another Puka back here. But, I could be wrong. Anybody can become the next Puka. That's what makes these late round picks so fun. Because if you call it, and you got bragging rights for days. So, yeah, that concludes the draft. A lot of talent in this year's draft compared to last year, I think. I think, Caleb Williams gonna be a stud. I think Bo Nix is gonna be next, and then Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy could be that fringe QB1, QB2 in fantasy. Everyone else I think is trash, especially Penix. Trash situation, and I don't think he's gonna translate that well to the NFL. A lot of good receivers. I don't think any of the top names are gonna bust. Those guys are all pretty good. Running back wise, I think Trey Benson is gonna be RB1 actually. I love his situation in Arizona. Jonathan Brooks, coming off ACL, I think he's okay. His landing spot is trash for the Panthers, so I think Trey Benson becomes the cream of the crop in the class. As far as tight end goes, Brock Bowers, obviously, but Ben Sinnott, he's got a chance. He's got a chance to be better than Brock Bowers. After this draft, it's a long way to the season. maybe I make a video here and there. Maybe if there's more trading going on, we do a trade evaluation video, but you know, videos are getting harder to come by, especially as work gets busier. But I might have an update for you that's kind of related to this whole thing, work-wise. But we'll see if that happens. Anyways, good luck in the off season, and try not to get too bored football-wise. After the draft, be sure to get your waivers in. Peace, everyone.